The United States and Russia have been locked in a geopolitical struggle since the end of World War II. While the Cold War officially ended in 1991, tensions between the two nations never truly dissipated. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine represents a new chapter in this protracted struggle. The current crisis began in 2014 with Russia's annexation of Crimea, marking a turning point in US-Russia relations. The subsequent invasion of Ukraine in 2022 further escalated tensions, drawing the US and its allies into a proxy war with Russia. The US has provided billions in military and economic aid to Ukraine, bolstering the country's defenses. This support includes advanced weaponry, intelligence sharing, and training for Ukrainian forces. The US has also imposed crippling economic sanctions on Russia, targeting key sectors of its economy. These measures have had a significant impact on Russia's economy, with the ruble plummeting in value and inflation soaring. The sanctions have disrupted supply chains and led to shortages of essential goods, fueling social unrest. By providing Ukraine with older weapons due to be decommissioned, the US has significantly weakened its adversary for pennies on the dollar. The economic consequences of Russia's actions are undeniable. The ruble has lost significant value, making imports more expensive and eroding the purchasing power of ordinary Russians. The cost of basic necessities, such as food and fuel, has skyrocketed, pushing many into poverty. The central bank has raised interest rates to curb inflation, but this has stifled economic growth. The Kremlin's measures to stabilize the ruble have done little to address underlying economic problems. Russia's national wealth fund has shrunk dramatically as the government finances the war effort. The war has also exposed weaknesses in Russia's military, particularly its reliance on outdated equipment and tactics. Heavy losses in Ukraine have depleted Russia's military resources, forcing reliance on older weaponry. The conflict in Ukraine has become a testing ground for new military technologies, particularly drone warfare. Ukraine's successful use of drones for reconnaissance and attack has showcased their transformative potential. Western allies have aided Ukraine's drone program, providing both drones and training. This has allowed Ukraine to effectively target Russian forces and equipment. The effectiveness of Ukraine's drone warfare has surprised many military analysts. Drones are significantly cheaper than traditional fighter jets and can be deployed with greater flexibility. This has allowed Ukraine to inflict significant damage on Russian forces while minimizing its own casualties. While the US has provided substantial support to Ukraine, it has refrained from direct military intervention. This strategy supports Ukraine while avoiding the risks of a direct confrontation with Russia. Recent developments have raised concerns about the U.S. commitment to supporting Ukraine. In a controversial move, the Trump administration announced a pause on military aid to Ukraine in July 2023. This decision, including the suspension of weapons deliveries and intelligence sharing, sent shockwaves through NATO. The aid pause sparked immediate criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. NATO allies expressed concern that the move would weaken NATO's resolve and embolden Russia. The pause in military aid has had immediate consequences for Ukraine's ability to defend itself. Ukrainian forces accustomed to relying on US satellite data have found themselves operating with reduced situational awareness. This has made it more difficult for Ukraine to anticipate and respond to Russian movements. Some analysts suggest the move was intended to pressure Ukraine into accepting a peace deal favorable to Russia. Others argue it reflects a broader shift in US foreign policy towards a more transactional approach.